When I checked out the market this morning, I was absolutely flabbergasted about what's going on. We are seeing some crazy movements right now, and we're going to be breaking it down. First up, we got everything Copenhagen. Now, breaking it down very simply, we've got only a couple teams left to qualify. Those are going to be all of your teams from the Americas. It's about to start in just a day or two, and then it's going to go on for a couple days. Very interesting, and we'll talk about those results next week. Otherwise, we've already talked about Europe RMRA and Europe RMRB. Lots of very interesting things there that you do need to know about. Check out a previous video. But the biggest one that just finished is going to be the Asian RMR, and this one's extremely interesting because Tai Lu, the team that everyone has had their mind and their looks on, is not going to be playing in the Copenhagen Major. Therefore, a lot of people are looking at their Stockholm sticker, which we'll talk about in a quick second. The two teams that did qualify are going to be the Mongols returning from Paris and Lin Vision, never before in a major. This one's very interesting because it's a fully Chinese roster. Therefore, there is obviously that potential of people looking at them with that Chinese potential investment opportunity. We don't exactly know. Talking about the Tai Lu stickers though, we saw a huge increase for a lot of these very quickly, and then it was completely diminished because obviously we know these stickers are not really going to be ones that you should be FOMOing into, and it's quite obvious when we look at it. Lastly, if you have not seen already, we had the Europe Last Chance qualifier where 9 Pandas went ahead and beat out Gamer Legion, Fnatic, and Astralis, 3 big teams that are not going to be at the Copenhagen Major. SkinSwap is today's sponsor, and they're also sponsoring you with a free bonus for signing up with the first link in the description. They're the premier place for CSGO and Rust skins with a massive trading site and a top-of-the-line marketplace, offering you the most competitive rates out there and a massive 40% bonus when you're using that link in the description. Combine that with their top-of-the-line selling feature with many payout options and their trading feature legitimately taking you just about a minute, and there's no reason not to sign up with that first link in the description. Now, when we're talking about Paris, things have not stopped there for the good news. We're seeing absolutely insane developments in my personal opinion. That's because we're seeing a lot of great news for these capsules, and we'll talk about the stickers in a quick second. The capsules are on a very nice trend right now. All of them are really sitting about 25 cents or more, which is a great piece of news considering just a couple weeks ago we were in a very pessimistic state of the market. Now when we're looking at Paris, it seems like it's the complete opposite. Everything is up potentially 20-25% on a decently sustainable trend right now. It's not like we're seeing a quick peak of overnight growth and then it's just leveling off. It's just been slowly moving up, which is exactly what we want to see for not only the capsules but also the stickers themselves. The stickers have seen a little bit of increased demand ever since we saw that update where you could apply a 5th sticker, but it seems like it's just been an overall change in the outlook of the game. People are starting to view the game in a more positive light, and considering Paris is the most liquid investment out there, people are starting to view it in a more positive light as well. Don't forget, supply is absolutely massive, and I don't want to downplay that at all, but the demand is definitely showing itself to be a little bit more of a factor than I think a lot of people initially expected, and things somehow get even crazier when we're talking about the skin market. Now, the skin market right now is absolutely insane when we're talking about relations to the skin market. Obviously, we're seeing potentially 10 to 20% growth for a lot of these skins over the past month, and I do want to say that's not anything absolutely insane when we're talking about growth inside of CS investing, but the truth is skins are not really meant to move like this. Skins are not specifically investments, as at least the ones I'm showing you. These are play skins. These are not investments, and the fact that they're moving up so significantly is very evident to an overall game trend rather than something happening inside of the investing market. This is exactly what you want if you're in the investing market. We want people to come into the game, we want game trends to develop, and we want more people to be in a positive aspect about the game because that means they're going to be opening up more cases, they're going to be more interested and involved inside the community, and overall it's going to be more money pumped into the game. This is exactly what you want as an investor, and the fact that it's starting to happen with the skin market right now is precisely what everyone really needs and wants inside of the investing community. And to further elaborate on that, we're starting to see a really interesting shift in the fact that we're starting to see a lot of players come back into the game. Now, although the average players hasn't gone up anything absolutely crazy, we're starting to see a new peak players, at least in the short term here, which is really good because it's bringing a lot of interest back into the game. It means that people are for some reason flocking back into the game when there's nothing going on right now. Think about it. We still have 2 weeks until we see the Copenhagen Major at the earliest. There's so much going on in the near future, and the fact that it's starting to heat up right now is such a great investment opportunity and just overall great game opportunity. Now, why do I say this is specifically a potential great investment opportunity? It's because of one specific area that's going to be rare cases. Now, if we want to look at the rare case market right now, it's actually quite different from the rest of the market. Although the rest of the market has seen some pretty decent increases, or at bare minimum a small increase, the rare case market has not specifically seen that. We're seeing a lot of cases still leveled out, specifically when we're talking about those Prisma 1, Prisma 2, Danger Zone, a lot of those cheaper rare cases. If we look at the little bit more expensive, they're not too different from the trends we're seeing with the cheaper rare cases, which is really good if you're a potential investor, but it's not great if you're a current investor. That's just because we know the demand in this area. We want to look at the unboxing numbers. They're starting to heat up once again. We're looking at almost 10 million in the past 7 days. Those are numbers kind of similar to what we were seeing when we're seeing a little bit of a hype. If we want to look back to April and May, those were the times we were seeing case numbers like that, and we can see the prices that we saw for these specific cases. cases. I say it's a great investment opportunity because I think honestly these cases are just a couple weeks behind, maybe a week or two behind when we're actually going to see a lot of increases start to happen all across the board. I think it's a great opportunity if you're not into it already, just because we know exactly what these cases are going to do, at least in my personal opinion. We don't know the exact timeline, but we know overall they should be seeing at least some sort of increase in price, and right now we're just not seeing it because overall the market isn't focused on these cases because we got a lot bigger events on the horizon, and that's where the interest is currently at. Now, I talked about how we're seeing a lot more positivity inside the market, and I think a lot of that is because of the future events we're going to see. Obviously, we have the Copenhagen Major, and I don't want to stew on that too much other than the potential that we're probably going to see a change of maps after the Copenhagen Major. It just makes sense that Valve would go ahead and do that, and therefore they're going to go ahead and potentially throw in some brand new collection packages, which is interesting, and discontinue some others. But otherwise, we have Danger Zone, which is potentially on the horizon. We've seen so many updates coming to potentially bring Danger Zone back into the game, which is a very good move because obviously we know the game needs more content. Other than that, we're seeing a lot more people interested in a potential Operation return. Now, I will say it's definitely possible, and I don't want to misplay or downplay the Operation potential, but the truth is there's always going to be a lot of people stewing about a potential Operation, myself included, so I do want you to take everything you see with a grain of salt, at least for an Operation. Same with a brand new case. Everyone loves to talk about it in a very positive aspect, myself included, but the truth is we don't know how likely something like that actually is, and therefore I don't want you to get too excited until we actually see it come into the game, because the truth is it could be still months upon months away from happening. One thing I also want to point out is the fact of when we see peaks in the market, and the truth is we start to see peaks very consistently when we look at the past couple of years, specifically anytime between February and July, and this is right about we're entering into the peak zone right here. Obviously, this is not something that I will say is reliable or guaranteed to happen, but the truth is it has consistently happened over the past couple of years, and it's definitely something to keep in the back of your mind. If you're potentially looking to invest, you might want to do so earlier than later. Another thing we talked about a couple of weeks ago is how Valve is potentially really focusing in on the cheater problem in a different solution than a lot of people are thinking. It's exactly what they did for Dota 2, where they went ahead and released a major update, and inside of it created a vulnerability which allowed people to go ahead and cheat inside of the game. Therefore, a couple weeks later, they went ahead and banned everyone that was using that vulnerability to help reduce the amount of cheaters inside the game. Obviously, if you look at CS2 right now, the biggest complaint that you're seeing from nearly everyone is the amount of cheaters and the quantity of these cheaters inside of their specific games. And therefore, it's definitely a possibility that I think Valve is continuing down this route based off their actions, because we haven't seen anything about cheating inside of the game from them as of lately, and I hope at least this is the action they're taking and it's going to be resolved relatively soon. And then finally, what should you be doing right now? Well, in my specific opinion, if you don't have any investments and you've got money waiting on the sidelines, unless you're waiting for something with Copenhagen to happen, I would definitely suggest potentially looking at your investments right now. We know the potential that's on the horizon. When we talk about the peak periods, we talk about the overall market, we talk about everything heating up right now. I don't think waiting is going to be in your best personal interest. With that being said, I also don't think it's necessarily that you go ahead and buy right now. There's a lot of potential in the investments you currently have. You made them using data, you made them using your strong decision-making skills, and you obviously made them yourself. That's all I got. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great rest of your day.